Hi, it's a Sunday afternoon in my studio here, and I'm working on several projects at the moment, and I thought I would do a quick video explaining some of the processes and some of the direction that one line of my artwork, the landscapes, is going. This little area is kind of my nature gallery along the stair landing here. I'm going to give you a quick tour, just a brief introduction of some of these paintings and where I was and how long ago I did them and what the process has been as I've refined this style. All of these are from the same area in rural Kentucky, which is pretty much the same landscape as I grew up with as a child, running around in the woods, in my grandpa's woods where I lived. And I painted this painting first a couple of years ago. And it's a rock formation with a couple of the metal rings that bind a whiskey barrel together, and some of those wooden staves that are decomposing, and it's deep in the woods behind a distillery. And I loved the scene, and I used a lot of knife work in the painting, where I was painting with a knife. Really kind of bold, graphic colors, and I liked what the style looked like, and I wanted to push some more realism. And the next painting I did was this one here, directly after it. And with this one, I was experimenting more with creating multiple types of textures with my brushwork, and playing with really deep contrast between the lights and the darks. Both of these first two canvases, actually the first four canvases I'm going to show you, I pre-primed the canvas in almost like a black brown and a burnt umber, and everything that you see is painted over the dark. Unlike painting on a white canvas, I was painting on basically a black canvas, so I was creating the highlights on a dark substrate. The next one I did was this one, about a year ago in this series. It was sometime after those first couple. This one I decided to pretty much paint the whole painting with a palette knife, no brush work involved. I'll take that back. There is a tiny little bit of texture that I worked in with a dry brush. The paint was already on the canvas applied with the knife, and I just kind of reworked some things to soften them with a brush. And with this, I was getting more into creating almost an abstraction of nature. I was really drawn by this bold shape of the deep cut in the ravine and the shadows in the rocks, contrasted with the softness of the background and the trees kind of just basically just coming out of that misty background. This one I did more recently once we had moved to Tirana, and this is 100% knife painting, no brushes involved. And here I was dialing up the brightness of the scene, so I almost got hyper real with a lot of the colors. I was playing around with dialing up the tone of the same basic scene. Different perspective a little bit, but basically the same stretch of rocks and forest. So playing, like I said, playing with these brighter colors, just seeing what that would look like. I gave the landscapes a rest for a bit while I was working on portraiture and figurative work, and recently got back into the same series and worked on these three. I did this one here, which is a small, quick study, basically an alla prima painting, two sittings, all wet paint. So quick study of the same rock formation, but as you can see, the colors are getting a bit softer compared to some of the older paintings. I'm getting more of a kind of a misty look, and I liked where that was headed, and I decided to implement my brush work and blending techniques that I do in my portraiture in a more refined, larger version of the same piece. And so here you can really start to see these kind of glimmery, shimmery effects and the soft transitions. This is what I do with my portraiture work, doing what's called glazing, where I'm building up multiple layers of color. And then did another study of looking straight up into a tree. Wanted to play around with this shimmery effect when you're looking up into a tree with the sun in the tree, basically. So this is, again, a quick study, one sitting painting, and it will probably get defined into a larger piece in the future. But what I really want to do now is work with this piece again and painting more in this kind of shimmery glazed style, refine this piece into a larger piece. This is a 1 foot by 1 foot, and this one's an 18-inch by 18-inch. I'm thinking I might go ahead and do a 30-inch square on this one, so I'm kind of playing around back and forth whether I go really big or keep a mid-sized painting. So that's what I'm working on in the studio. I've been refining a family portrait that I recently did, reworking one of the figures in the piece with a little bit different angle of the face, so we're kind of refining that. As I've said before, I do portraiture work, so if anybody's interested, I do a few of those a year. So if you want to get on my commissioned portrait list, I'd love to talk to you. But quick fun little video from the art studio today. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I'm happy to be working here. Have a great day.